Say you think you're too old to start a YouTube channel. You think you've got nothing to offer. Well, let me stop you right there, because I'm going to tell you why starting over the age of 40 isn't a disadvantage. It's actually a huge asset. Hi, I'm Luke. I'm 45 years old and I just started my YouTube channel 2 weeks ago. But before I began, I wrestled with lots of doubts. Probably the same doubts and questions that you're going through right now. What do I have to offer? What do I have to say that's worth sharing? Aren't I too old to be starting over again? Do those questions sound familiar? Well, let me tell you, it's a load of nonsense. Now, like you, I thought about my interests and how can I make videos about those. My interests are rugby league. Now, unless you live in the northern part of England or a couple of states in Australia, you probably don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Food. I love food, but I'm not a chef, and I don't go out nearly enough to be a food reviewer. History. I love history, but I don't know enough about it to be factual and to talk about it and be engaged in it. I just know I like it. Music and movies. Well, my reviews would be like, yep, that was a good movie, I'd watch it again, or I like that song, I'll add it to my playlist. Sounds pretty boring to me. So I'd convince myself that I had nothing to offer and I had nothing to say. Nothing that people would be interested in anyway. But here's the thing, I actually do have something to say, and so do you. What I realized is your greatest strength is you, your life, your perspectives, your stories. Being over the age of 40, we have something that a lot of other creators don't have. We have that real life experience. And if you're like me, you've probably forgotten half the stuff that you've done in your life already. So it's a great way to remember and jog that memory. It's like catching up with an old mate after 20 years. You laugh, you share stories, you learn, and you have a good time. You're just bringing it to a whole new platform. Now that we're on to storytelling, I wanted to tell you a story about how I got my first job in the mines and how it's relatable to what I'm now going through. You see, back then I was a 21-year-old kid and I went to job interviews and I was told consistently, you're too young and you don't have any experience. Come back in a year and we'll see. Right, that doesn't sound promising. So this is what I did. For the next year, I volunteered my time and I learnt how to drive a dump truck on a mining site. Every Saturday and Sunday for 12 hours a day, I volunteered for a whole year. 7 days a week I was working because I had a Monday 9 to 5. I sacrificed. I gave up going out with my friends, pretty much any free time, because I just felt like I worked for a year, all for that chance to maybe, at the end of it, I'd get a job. Now that worked out for me because I did get a job and I spent the next 18 years working in the mining industry, which was fabulous. Maybe not fabulous, but hey, it got me set up for a period of time. Did that year suck? Hell yeah. You know what it's like when you're a 21-year-old kid and your friends are ringing you up and they're like, coming down the pub for a beer, let's go to the races, let's go to the footy, let's blah, 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 whatever. And each time for a whole year, I had to say no. It also had another effect on me. Well, it actually had another side effect, which was I actually found out who my true friends were. Because after that year, when I got a job and I got more free time, the ones who didn't wait for me, I never saw again. But my true friends, they hung around, they waited. That was pretty cool. And that's an experience that I'm now bringing towards this YouTube channel. I'm not expecting instant success. I'm not expecting that, I'm going to get paid. I'm doing this for the experience. So then further down the track, I can make better videos. I can be better at communicating. People want to actually watch me and listen to the things that I have to say. It's a learning process. Just like all those years ago when I spent 12 hours a day, every weekend in those trucks, just learning. That's what I'm bringing from my past to my future. And without this, without trying to do this YouTube thing, I probably wouldn't remember that experience, or I wouldn't remember it in the way that I can now use. But here I want to share with you what I've learned in the first 2 weeks of being a YouTube creator. Keep it simple. Use what you've got. I have a phone. I've got a little microphone thing here. I have a ring light for when it gets dark, and a laptop. That's all I needed to get started. Another thing I've learned is you have to be consistent. Now, it doesn't matter about the frequency of your consistency. Well, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't really matter about the frequency of your uploads as long as you stick to a schedule. If it's weekly or bi-weekly or monthly, if you continue just to upload on the same schedule, you'll be fine. You're building that muscle. I don't know what the hell that is. How come every time I come out here to record, something bloody noises? Day or night? There you go, stop. And moving on, tell stories. That's what people are interested in. They want to hear you. They want to know what you think, what you've gone through, your experiences, and how that's helping you move forward. Because you don't know. Something that you may find mundane could be just the inspiration for somebody else to get their stuff going too. What are you waiting for? Is it weird that I'm just staring at this woman trying to tell her to go? Nope, here she goes. Nope. Yep. Nope. Yep, she's gone. So far, everything I've told you, my humble advice on starting a YouTube channel from scratch, sounds very simple, and it is. But there's one more thing, and I believe it's the reason why you haven't started yet. It's because you don't have a plan. Now, a wise man once said, if you don't plan, you are planning to fail, and we don't want to fail. Imagine this for just one sec. You wake up one Sunday morning and you say to your partner, let's go out for lunch today. And your partner agrees, and that's it. You don't mention it again until lunchtime rolls around, and you go back to your partner and you say, are you ready to go out for lunch? And your partner says back, well, where are we going? What do I have to wear, or what should I wear? Are we going to walk? Is it going to be cold outside? Are we sitting inside? Are we sitting outside? What type of food are we going to eat? There's 1,000,001 questions that follow that you don't have the answers for. Now imagine if you went back to the morning and you said, hey babe, let's go out for lunch today. I'm thinking we're going to go here and we're going to go at this time. Be ready then. Well, you've kind of planned out your lunch, haven't you? It's much better to do it that way than at lunchtime starting to think about what we're going to eat and where we're going to go and what do I have to wear. Where's that lead? That leads to a late lunch. Starving people, and if you're anything like me, that's not good. Coming up with a plan can take some time. There's a lot of strategic thinking involved, and a lot of people don't think about that, they don't care about that, or they just don't want to do that. The good news is you don't have to worry about that because I've got you covered. I've got your back on this. I'm going to give you the blueprint, the first week of the 101-day Confidence Social Media Growth Challenge Journal. It's easy to fill out, it doesn't take that much time, and it will give you the clarity and direction to get your channel started. And by the way, it's free. So you can just have that, give it a try, and see what you can do with it. Remember, every YouTuber started with 0 subscribers. That's right. Every single one of them started where you are right today. So don't worry, you've got this. You can do all this. It's just about getting out of your own way. But by keeping it simple, you can. Your life experience is your superpower, so don't let it just sit on the shelf. You're not too old, and you're definitely not too late. So what are you waiting for? Start now.